something as beautiful as this in terms of, you know, what a setting. The lake we've been at, you know, it's a beautiful place. You know, not a typical you know, place to hang around at a ski lake. You know, I think it's called a palapa. Maybe I'm wrong. And we can, you know, go out there on that lake. It's right in front of the dock. It's awesome. Big fan of it here. Gordon's been a fantastic host, and I mean, I couldn't really recommend it more to come out here and have a good time, enjoy a alcohol-free beer in the hot sun, have some good food, and ski to your heart's content. Currently, so 2 weeks out from an event. Currently, what I'll do is on the Monday, I'll look down on my foot and I'll go, right, how's the ankle? And I'll be like, right, it's looking good. And I'll strap on the ski. I mean, I'll have, I don't know, 10, 12, 14 sets that week. Do some gym, stay fit. Try and make sure that, you know, you train with how your body's feeling. I mean, we are, as skiers that do it all the time, you've got to listen to yourself and feel like you're staying fit. And then I'll sort of taper it off. I always feel that generally I can kind of get my training to a peak, and, you know, just in the lead up to a tournament to try and get to a real good level. And then if I get to a real good level early in that 2 week period, I'll taper off. I'll go to, you know, 1 set a day or take a couple of days off or whatever, and I'll feel that I can stay there. But then if I'm really struggling, I mean, I will ski 3 sets a day before a tournament if I have to. And that's, you know, before the World Championships 2 years ago, that's exactly what I did. I mean, I was in real trouble with how I was skiing. I was skiing terribly. My body was hurting. I couldn't run a pass to save my life, you know, not a good pass. But, you know, I trained until the very last day that I left. And, you know, I remember in the morning before I got on the plane, I left at, I think, 10 in the morning. I had 2 sets that morning with my friend Johnny Sharman driving the boat. You know, but you just have to do what you got to do, because for me it's all about you push and push and push until you can ski better, and then if you can't get better, you keep going. And obviously, if you don't want to be going until it's really tough. But I'm definitely an advocate of train until you get to a peak. And that's kind of how I go. So I mean, I couldn't tell you that there's something that I do. There's not a ritual I have 2 weeks out from an event, but I do have. I mean, honestly, my process would probably start more than 2 weeks before. It'd probably start 4 weeks before. 4 weeks before an event, I will look at it and I'll feel a timetable and a schedule, and I'll think, you know, what do I have to do? Do I need to lose a bit of weight? You know, how have I been eating too many cookies? You know, am I strong enough? How's my offside? How's my onside? I go through all these little things. It's not about just right, well, I've got to ski this many times in those 2 weeks and not ski well. It's about, you know, am I doing enough off the second wake into my 2-4 side? Am I dropping my shoulder on my 1-3-5? You know, all these little things. So there's, you know, I don't think it'd be interesting to hear what other people think and would answer that question. But for me, it's definitely a case of looking at all the individual bits. And there's no set program for me. It's a case of putting all the jigsaw pieces together to get to a good level, and then going from there. Who am I a pro skier? Am I someone that cares about water skiing if I don't say that this season isn't a success if I don't win Worlds? You know what I mean? Like if I was sitting here going, oh, you know, I'll be happy if I come in, you know, in the top 5 at Worlds, I should give up. So I've got to say I want to win Worlds. I do want to win Worlds. It's been my aim since I was reading Water Ski magazine, age 10 years old. That's always been the aim. It's what all my, you know, my water ski heroes, Andy Mapple, Will Ash has done it twice. All those guys, like the World Championships is the be all and end all as far as I'm concerned, and that's the aim. There's a lot of other tournaments happening between now and then and thereafter, and I want to do well in all of them. And I'm thinking I probably will do. You know, I feel like I've got everything in place to do well there in all those other tournaments. But the World Championships is the big one, and I had a friend of mine say to me before the World Championships in 2013 when I was training in England, he said to me, we were in March, he said to me, he looked me in the eye and he said, "Fred, are you doing something every single day to improve your standing at the World Championships?" And I thought about it and I thought that is a good way of looking at it. I mean, am I doing something every single day which is going to help me then? And that's kind of this year how I'm living my life. I mean, yes, like there's days which suck, there's days which I didn't do it, but if I ski bad in the morning, I try to ski well, and then I'm going to go on my bike for an hour and I'm going to improve my fitness, or I'm going to go lift weights or whatever, whatever it is. So the World Championships are the be all and end all. That's the big aim. And I think if I can get a good result at the Worlds, then it will be a success. Of course, I want to ski around all the other events as well, but the Worlds is the big one. Oh, I don't know. What would I change about sport? I mean, it would be really nice if water skiing was comparable to sports such as tennis, golf. These individual sports where you can go and make money. I'm sure, like snow skiing too, where you can go and just by entering and just by qualifying for events, you're going to make good money. I mean, obviously that's not what we are, and that's not a realistic thing to wish for, because it's probably not going to happen. Certainly not maybe in the time that I'm the next few years when I'm skiing. Having said that, on the flip side of that coin, the thing that I love about this sport is that every single person that does it because they love it. They're not doing it because it's a paycheck. Like in other professions. We don't get mercenaries in the sport in the same way. Every person that competes in the sport loves the sport because no one's trapped. Because if you can go and do something else. And I mean, I'm sure if I wanted to go play the stock market or go back to London and get a different job or whatever it is, and I could probably, but do I love anything else in my life as much as I love water skiing? No.